Hey folks, this is Sam Huber, Samuel Huber from YouTube, Samuel Huber from Facebook, Huber Family Adventures on Instagram. I run many shows on Instagram now. YouTube. Three: Adulting Wellness Spectrum, Inclusion Tube, and Heroes of Autism. And today is a bit of a combination of those second two, Heroes of Autism and Inclusion Tube, because M has kind of stepped into both stratospheres, as she wrote a song about a friend that she knew that was on the spectrum that's very popular. She also performed at the first Inclusion Fest 2 years ago, and held her own little workshop that was a routing success. And we're going to do a bit of behind the music kind of vibe today and learn a bit more about the real M. M, can you tell the folks a bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I am 15 years old. I started singing when I was around 5 and writing music. I absolutely love to get to travel and do the things that I do. I mean, I write songs for specific reasons, either for my friends or for things that I just see in the world. And yeah, I just have fun with it.
That's awesome. I come to understand that your family is your backing band. How did that get started?
Yeah, my great grandmother was a singer, and so was my grandmother. So it just kind of runs in our family to have like a family band per se. So my dad and my uncle and my brother, we kind of just got together and we're like, hey, let's start a band. Let's start playing together. So it just started that way.
Are you who's in charge of the band? Is it because your name's on the top? Are you in charge, or is it a collective effort?
I think it's really a collective effort right now. I mean, I think that it's really, really nice to have people who genuinely want to help you. I mean, it's not really easy for me to navigate on my own. So it's really good to have people who want the best for me.
Hmm. So there's so many musical genres out there. Like, how did you decide? This is a style I like, and this is what my band's gonna sound like. How did you guys come up with your sound?
We didn't really decide. I mean, like, I just sort of liked certain music at the time, and then I went on to find other things I liked as well. And I just kind of incorporated some different styles of music into what I do. And I don't really label it. I just think that it's if it's good music, it's good music. But if I had to, I would say that it's more so Americana because I think a lot of things fall under that term. But
Mm.
yeah, I play music. I just really like a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, and I like that definition that it's just whatever is defined as good music to the individual, and that's how you get such a wide audience, that you don't try to put yourself in a box. And I find a lot of your songs talk about your life experiences, but the one that really catches a lot of people's eye is the first song of this interview that I want you to talk about and then perform, is your song about autism. It was under my impression that you yourself were on the spectrum, and then I learned from your manager, no, she had a friend, and that's really huge for a 15-year-old, to write such a complex emotional tune. How did you go about writing this tune?
Yeah, my friend Will, he is on the spectrum, and I realized how people would misinterpret him and judge him a lot. I mean, it was like blatantly obvious, and it just sort of rubbed me the wrong way, and him as well, I'm sure. And I just really was thinking about that a lot, and how you know how much I really wanted to try to understand him and what he was going through and be a friend for him whenever he needed me, because I just felt like that was important to him and to me at the time.
Hmm.
And we started talking about, some stuff, what he goes through, and it just sort of inspired me. And I was like, hey, I really want to write this song for you. Is that okay? Because I just didn't want to get into that without, asking or like making sure that it was okay that I, write a song about what he goes through, and I did, and it just really it was not way too difficult to write either. I mean, like, from what he said and like what people experience, I mean, like, it's it was something that just kind of like I just reached up and got the song. Like, it just was so smooth to write. I mean, like, we just started putting words out, and it just sort of just meshed together so well. And I really hope that it just came out in a way that could relate. to him and to other people like him. And I showed it to him, and he talked to his mom, and he said, "Hey, mom, this song is about me. She wrote this song for me," and that really made me very happy that I wrote something that was accurate to him. So yeah.
Mhm. And it seems like in my research of you, like this song kind of like made your popularity explode. How have you felt when people talk to you about this song or the music video? Like, how has that been all of a sudden to be this internet sensation?
Oh, well, I mean, I enjoy just, getting to write stuff that people can listen to and be like, "Hey, this is something that, I feel, and it's something that I can listen to that kind of helps me in some way." Or it can be something that could educate other people, and that is beautiful and amazing. And, you know, I guess it's been really nice to, see how people react to the song and other songs that I write as well. I mean, like, it's a blessing. I'm very glad that I got to get that out to so many people.
That's a very humble response for a 15-year-old.
Oh,
I've worked with 15-year-olds. Normally do not get that. Like it's just, that's cool. Like that was a very deep and profound response to that question. So for those of you who haven't heard this song, Em, do you mind giving us a play?
I don't mind at all. Do you think I'm crazy? Is there something wrong with me? Well, I don't want to be angry. I ain't trying to be. Oh, my heart's racing 90 miles down the street. Oh, I'm sitting still. Everything's moving but my feet. Oh, I'm sitting in your classroom. I'm in your pew at church. You think my mom always spanked me? Little discipline might work. When you see me in the grocery with my head between my knees, tell me, do you think I'm crazy? Is there something wrong with me? Well, the kids don't want to play with me. They say that I'm a freak. Well, I know what they talk about. I can hear and I can see. Well, I long to have a friend just to be beside of me. Oh, well, I might not talk to him, but at least you talk to me. Well, I know my family loves me, but I can't even say it back. Oh, well, I can't even let them hug me. It's an emotion that I lack. Oh, I see the way they suffer, and they know I suffer too. Oh, if there's joy, I just can't share it, even if I wanted to. Oh, I'm sitting in your classroom. I'm in your pew at church. Think my mom always say little discipline might work. When you see me in the grocery with my hand between my knees, tell me, do you think I'm crazy? Is there something wrong with me? Well, they say that I'm disabled, that my problems make me weak, but I think that in my weakness I can find a little strength. If people didn't look right through me, I believe they might see, oh, some good or some worth, some love inside of me. Oh, I'm sitting still, but everything's moving but my feet. Oh, I'm sitting still, but everything's moving but my feet. Oh, I'm sitting still, but everything's moving but my feet. And oh, I'm sitting in your classroom. I'm in your pew church. I think my mom always spanked. Little discipline might work. When you see me in the grocery with my head between my knees, tell me, do you think I'm crazy? Is there something wrong with me? Oh, tell me to think I'm crazy. Is there something wrong with me?
Woo! Thank you, Em. I've heard that song before, but for those of you who don't, like, that's the last word there. Is there something wrong with me? Is the biggest question people like me ask ourselves when we're going through school, and I I really appreciate just speaking so how you spoke so honestly of how your friend's experience. Um, it seems like your songs do come from an honest place rather than what's hip right now or what's going to get me the most hits on YouTube. Is it easy to write such honest material, or do you find it challenging?
It depends on what it's about, you know, like, I think that with Will, it was sort of, easier for me to write about because I'd been around him and I understood and I made an effort to understand. And that's something that, made it easier for me to write that song, but it still wasn't easy to sing. I mean, like, it was hard for me to sing at first to get through it without, just really, really, really just, like, almost crying from it because, like, it was something that I saw him go through, and it made me angry, and it also made me sad for him, and I just wanted it to be normal for him. I wanted him to just be okay without other people's judgment, and that is something that,
Mhm.
I really kind of wanted to interpret through that song.
Mhm.
But I guess for me, it wasn't too hard writing that because it just came from a place of me just wanting to have something for him to listen to and relate to.
Mhm. And that's definitely the power of music, the ability to help people, no matter who you are, relate to a situation, a feeling, an experience. Is it really hard to write about yourself though, or
Yeah.
Mm,
That is, I don't really like writing about myself as much. I mean, I've always loved writing about other people and their experiences, and also, things that have happened in this world and tragedies as well, and good things also, though. I mean, like, but it's just for me, I don't really feel that. Yeah, I'm 15 years old. I don't really have a lot to really say about myself yet.
mhm,
Maybe one day, but I mean, I guess that right now I'm just trying to really learn through other people and just try to help other people in a lot of different ways, I guess.
I appreciate your honesty. That because a lot of 15-year-olds I meet, they think they know it all. And it's really refreshing to hear one say, like, I don't know much. I'm 15. Where do you think like such a deep understanding of your experience, comes from?
Well, I think it comes from, mostly a lot of it comes from my family, but it's also the respect that my family has, for my own opinions and the things that I kind of come up with over time and things that, I believe in. And it's that, freedom that my family gives me to think for myself. And that's something that is very important, I think, just trying to, when you're a parent, I think it is important as a kid. I think that it's important for your family to understand you and, have respect for you, just as you should have respect for them. And that's something that I value very much within my family, and they've really instilled in me, kindness and just trying to be good to everyone, even if I don't understand, and I try to understand, and that is something that having tolerance for other people and just being good, and that's something that's instilled in me, and I'm very happy about that.
Mhm. That's really cool. But how they give you the same freedom now that you're this now touring musician? Because like most 15-year-olds are still like trying to learn "Smoke on the Water" on the guitar or something like that. But you're already out there touring and performing in front of hundreds, maybe even thousands of people at a time. Like
Sometimes, yeah.
how is your parents reacting to like all of a sudden like their little girl is up on stage and not like some normal teenager, like not having the normal experience.
Well, I mean, they're proud of me, and I'm proud of me. I mean, like, it's something that my family encouraged. Like, they saw that I loved what I did, and they saw that I loved music and writing and playing instruments, and they were like, "Hey, if she wants to do this, she can do this. And if she doesn't want to do it anymore later on, that's fine too." They give me choices. They understand that, I can grow and I can find new things, and people change and evolve.
Mm.
But this is something that has stayed with me forever, and I just love music, and they really wanted to encourage that and, just help me follow my dreams per se.
That's certainly beautiful. Would you mind playing us another tune for
Mhm.
us? But first, to give us the backstory of what it is.
Absolutely. So I was thinking about doing a song from my latest album. This is called it's called this is one that I really really love. I started writing this one maybe a while back. It's about a little place in Dahlonega, Georgia, called the Crimson Moon, and it's a really amazing venue. And I just really wanted to sing about it today. So here you go. This is called Crimson Moon. This crimson moon in the Georgia heat, it's where I lost you. That's where I found me. Now I'm better off. Oh, all alone. A promise ring on your hands, it's still just a stone. Oh, I don't need to be in love. Well, I may be young, but I'm woman enough to be happy on my own. Happy on my own, don't you call my bluff. Let the light of this crimson moon shine down and oh, lift me up. Oh, lift me up. Oh, lift me up. A table for one. Now it don't bother me. The coffee's still good and strong. The music's still sweet. Moonlight's better than sun. Ain't no chains on me. This room, this place. Hey, that's all that I need. Oh, I don't need to be in love like baby. Young, but I'm woman enough to be happy on my own. Happy on my own, don't you call my bluff. Let the light of this crimson moon shine down and oh, this crimson moon in the Georgia heat. It's where I lost you. That's where I found me.
Thank you, Emma. I love the little Elvis shake of your head there at the end. She had a little swagger there at the end. Well, that's a really great song. Like, why did that venue of all the venues you performed at, like, oh, this place needs a song about it?
Well, I guess my fans were asking me to write a song about that place, like, a lot. Like, I was getting requests for me to write that song every single day. And it was just like, okay, I guess I can write a song about it because the Crimson Moon has been amazing to me. They've let me play there for years and years, and we usually play there about twice a year, I think. And I just really, really love that venue. I mean, like the whole place has just always been a great vibe, and it's also just kind people who own it, and
Hmm.
we've just had really good experiences usually. And I was like, okay, I think I want to write a song about this place. So yeah.
That's pretty cool, and I think that's how it often goes, especially for Americana music. Just like you're in this place and time, and you want to capture that moment in a song. Um,
Very true.
and you certainly did it during that song. And then there was also a special moment that a lot of people, including myself, were introduced to you in the autism community, which is Inclusion Festival, where you
Yeah.
performed two years ago. Where you performed some solo stuff, but you also jumped on the stage with Grateful Dead tribute band, and you hold your own workshop. Can you tell the folks a bit about those three experiences that you had?
It was incredible. Like, the whole thing was amazing. I mean, when I first heard we were playing the Inclusion Festival, I was like, "Oh, this is it's like a new festival. That's really, really cool." And I was a little bit nervous. I was like, I've never, like, played, like I don't think I'd ever played, like, the first festival of, like, a whole thing like that, and I was a little bit, worried about it. I was like, "Oh, this is brand new. Oh my gosh." And we showed up, and I got to work with the Grateful Dead tribute band, and we started working on a few songs. I mean, it was really laid back and it was fun. I mean, the whole vibe of that festival in general is just like so easygoing, and it's just fun in general, and there was like so much to do. I really enjoyed it, and the people there too were just so kind, and I I just had a good time. And doing the workshop was I think it was one of the first times I ever like really done a workshop. So a bunch of new experiences there, and I really enjoyed that. I feel like I informed a few people about some things, and I feel like that was good. And also performing with the tribute band, like that was really cool. I mean, like, I usually perform with my own band, so getting to mix it up every now and then and play with other people, I mean, like, that's really cool. So overall, I had an amazing time.
That's really cool, Emma. So what was your workshop about exactly?
I'm pretty sure, like, it was pretty much just about, playing ukulele. It
Mm.
was, and writing mostly. It was about, ukulele and writing, and I'd never done one on ukulele either, which was very new, and I'm learning every day too, so I was like, "Oh gosh, I guess I could do a beginner's class, like, we could try that." And, it worked out great. I mean, I taught a few people some chords and some new things about the ukulele, and I recommended some ukuleles, which I'd never done before, so that was cool. And yeah, I pretty much told them my whole writing experience and how I started, and pretty much how I go through writing and my whole system that we kind of do usually. So yeah, it was all about that.
That's really cool. So what's the difference for those who don't know but are curious between a ukulele and a guitar for you?
A ukulele has 4 strings, guitar has 6, tuned different, it's all that stuff. And ukulele, I think for me, it is like a very playful instrument. I mean, like, it's a really good instrument for kids to start out on, I think.
Mm.
Because at a young age, like, your hands are small, you got small hands, and I think that it helps out for a lot of kids to transition to ukulele to guitar, and it's just beneficial to know both. Really, I think that it's really fun to start out on the ukulele because I started out at 7, and I really enjoyed this instrument, and I still do to this day. It's my main instrument, and it works really well for me. And the guitar, I really love the acoustic a lot. But my favorite, I love playing electric guitar. I mean, I always have. And I mean, like, it's all up to preference. I mean, like, what kind of guitars you like. I mean, like, it's all up to that. But there's also, I used to have a ukulele when I was younger. It was a electric ukulele actually,
Hmm.
and it was the best ukulele I've ever had. But anyways, yeah, it's just all up to preference. They're pretty different, but I mean, they're both fun to learn.
That's really cool. And I definitely as a beginning musician myself, I'm find the difference between guitar preferences. And I think, and that's the most important lesson for all you beginning musicians out there from Emma is, find what you like. Don't just because Jimi Hendrix played Stratocaster doesn't mean you have to, or you know,
Yeah, there's always that thing around most equipment that you use. It's like, oh, well, if this person used it, then it's obviously great. Like, no, it's what works for you. I mean, if you find out what you like, because
mm,
I've gone through so many ukulele brands that
mhm,
it's insane. I
mm,
mean, like, I finally ended up with an endorsement by Cali Ukuleles, and I love these ukuleles, and I found what was good for me. I
mhm,
usually play tenor ukuleles. I love
mm,
tenor ukuleles, and I also love sopranos.
mm.
And, I mean, I'm still finding out what I like with guitars. I'm endorsed by Fender. I mean, like, it's really cool. I mean, but you guys need to find what you like.
Mhm. So we have time for one more song and one more and discussion about the song. What was the last song that you would like to play for us, Emma?
Yeah. So, I have a little song here that is pretty brand new, actually. So I'm gonna do this one for you. I started writing this one with some friends in Nashville. This song is called "If the World Was Blind." So. Tommy was a boy who didn't like the color blue. Said goodbye to this world because he loved someone he wasn't supposed to. Daniel had a good life, then he lost it all one day. He holds a sign, begs for help. It's ugly, so we turn the other way. If you look close, you're gonna see I'm not like you, ain't not like me. We're more different than the same. When you were born, there's only love. The hate came in and divided us. We argue over who's to blame. Cool, we be gentle. Cool, we be kind. What a beautiful world it would be if the world was blind. What a beautiful world it would be. A new girl came to class, she doesn't fit in at our school. Her clothes are weird, they call her strange. She doesn't pray the way that we do. If you look close, you're gonna see I'm not like you, ain't not like me. We're more different than the same. When you were born, there's only love. A hate came in and divided us. We argue over who's to blame. Cool, we be gentle. Cool, we be kind. What a beautiful world it would be if the world was blind. What a beautiful world it would be. Black, brown, yellow, red, crooked or straight ahead. Too many tears I shed. If we could only look from our hearts instead. If you look close, you're gonna see I'm not like you, ain't not like me. We're more different than the same. When you were born, there's only love. The hate came in and divided us. We argue over who's to blame. Ooh, we be gentle. Ooh, we be kind. What a beautiful world it would be if the world was blind. a beautiful world it would be if the world was blind.
That was beautiful, Emma. Can you tell us a bit more about the story behind that? Like that song, was it about an individual you met or just something you observed?
I mean, like, it's something I observe in, like, society in general. I mean, like, and how we treat people. I mean, like, especially the people that I talk about within that song. I mean, like, I feel like it is something that, it's just the stereotypes of, like, so many others. And, you know, I've really had, like, a place in my heart for people who, have lost their homes and become homeless, and things have happened. And I've always tried my best to. When I was younger, I would go out, in my local, at our local, homeless shelter sometimes, and I would sing for them, and I would do stuff like that. And I would go, to Knoxville, and I would sing on Market Square, to the homeless around that area, because, you know, I mean, like, it's if I have this talent and I can share it in any way, why not do that? You know, and that's something that I've always wanted to do. And there's just so many people that I think that get put down for things that, you know, if you don't know what someone's story, I mean, like, you don't know anything about this stranger, why judge them in the process? I mean, like, and that's sort of just what that song's about, you know, just like, why spread hate towards people you don't even know? And that's something that I've always just really thought was, you know, very ignorant. I think that people need to be kinder to each other, and that's pretty much what that song's about.
Thank you so much for sharing that wisdom behind. Again, you are wise beyond your years. Definitely, I'm sure you hear
Yeah.
this all the time. An old soul.
Well, thank you so much.
Um, I always like to end my inclusion tube interviews with the following question: what does inclusion mean to you?
Hmm. Garnet, shush. um. Well, me and my mom were talking about this earlier. I mean, like, I think it's like togetherness, you know? I mean, like, just trying to get together to do something pretty cool. I mean, like, I feel like that's what I would define as inclusion. I mean, like, you have all these people who come together to one place, and you have a good time. And you have people who are not worried about, like, a bunch of stuff that's going on in the world. I mean, like, they just get together and they're there to have a good time and to be at peace with one another. And that is something that that's kind of how I would describe it.
All right, Emma. Thank you so much for sharing your music, your story, again, your wisdom. How can people follow you if they want to like learn more about your music and you?
Absolutely. You can find me at theemisunshine.com. It is just THEEMI sunshine.com. So it's got my YouTube, my Instagram, Twitter, and everything else. So please go check that out.
All right, Emma. Thank you so much for coming on Inclusion Tube. We hope to see you again at the festival sometime.
I would love that.
All right, all right, Amy and Leah, you heard her. She wants to come back. Let's bring her back. All right, this is Sam Huber signing off.